There comes a time in every life when chaos whispers your name. It is subtle at first, a missed responsibility, a neglected duty, a dream postponed for tomorrow, but chaos is patient. It feeds on disorder. It thrives in the corners of your life where you refuse to shine the light of discipline. If you allow it, disorder will weave itself into every thread of your existence. It will infect your thoughts, disrupt your relationships, dismantle your goals, and slowly erode the foundation upon which your future depends. And one day, you will wake up to the realization that your entire life has become a house built on sand, ready to collapse under the first strong wind. My friend, life will not organize itself for you. If you refuse to set things in order, nature has a way of setting them in chaos. The universe rewards the man or woman who brings structure, clarity, and discipline to their days. The world opens its treasures to the individual who treats time as sacred and responsibility as a privilege, not a burden. Order is not a luxury, it is a necessity. Without it, every victory you win will eventually slip through your fingers, because the disorganized mind cannot hold success for long. Ask yourself, is my environment clean and prepared for work, or cluttered and distracting? Is my daily routine intentional or dictated by mood and impulse? Do I decide my priorities, or do they decide themselves? The truth is simple: if you do not command your time will command you. If you do not discipline your mind will enslave you. If you do not put your house in order, the storms of life will tear it apart. You cannot escape responsibility without paying the price of regret. You cannot live in disorder without living in defeat. The successful man understands that every great achievement is declared sacred. And here's the hardest part: order does not come naturally. It must be forced upon yourself, especially when you do not feel like it. That is the test of greatness. Anyone can act when they feel inspired. The uncommon individual acts even when inspiration is nowhere to be found. Do not wait for the perfect mood. Do not wait for the right time. Force yourself to act today. Force yourself to plan your days. Force yourself to keep your word to yourself, because every day you live in disorder, the silent collapse begins one brick at a time, and every day you live in order, the silent construction of greatness continues one brick at a time. Make your bed, organize your thoughts, write your goals, plan your actions, protect your time. Do it whether you feel like it or not. Do it until it becomes who you are. Remember, this discipline is the backbone of freedom. Structure is the foundation of creativity, and order is the soil in which every seed of success must be planted. If you want your life to stand strong against every storm, you must build it on the unshakable foundation of order. If you fail to do so, no matter how high you rise, no matter how far you go, you will watch it all crumble. So today, make a decision, not tomorrow, not next week, today. Force yourself to put order in your life, or everything will collapse. I can also expand this speech into a 25-30-minute video script with detailed sub-stories, examples, and rhythm breaks, so it perfectly matches your long-format motivational channel style. That way, it will fully grip the listener from start to finish. Chaos is not a sudden visitor in your life. It does not knock loudly on your door and announce its arrival. It enters quietly, like a shadow slipping in through a crack you forgot to seal. It hides in the corners of your habits, in the moments you told yourself, "I'll do it tomorrow," and in the decisions you avoided making because they were uncomfortable. Understand this truth: chaos thrives in the absence of discipline. When discipline is present, chaos cannot breathe. But when discipline is missing, chaos multiplies, growing stronger every day, feeding on your weaknesses, feeding on your neglect, feeding on your willingness to delay what must be done. Look closely at any life that has fallen apart: a man whose finances are in ruin, whose health has crumbled, whose relationships are in pieces, and you will find that the collapse did not begin in a single catastrophic moment. It began long before, in small acts of disorder, bills left unpaid, words left unsaid, promises left unkept, responsibilities left unfinished. Discipline is the wall that keeps chaos out. Remove that wall, even for a short while, and chaos begins its work. It starts with the smallest cracks: a day without focus, an hour wasted on distraction, a decision postponed. These seem harmless in the moment, but they are the opening moves of a quiet invasion. Think of your life as a garden. If you tend to it daily, removing weeds, watering the soil, planting with intention, it will grow into beauty, strength, and abundance. But if you ignore it, weeds will overtake it faster than you can imagine. That is the nature of life. It leans toward disorder unless it is continually brought back into order by the hand of discipline. There is no neutral ground. You are either building discipline or inviting chaos. Every choice you make, no matter how small, leans in one direction or the other. When you choose discipline, you strengthen the structure of your life. When you choose laziness, avoidance, or neglect, you weaken that structure, and chaos senses the weakness. People often imagine that chaos is dramatic, sudden disasters, shocking failures, explosions of problems. But in truth, the most dangerous chaos is slow, invisible, and patient. It doesn't care how long it takes to destroy you. It will wait while you sleep in, while you skip that workout, while you ignore that difficult conversation, while you leave that dream on the shelf for one more day. And one day, when the weight of all your neglect becomes too heavy, it will collapse everything at once. Discipline, on the other hand, is not an emotion. It is not something you feel before you act. It is a decision, a cold, clear choice to do what must be done, whether you want to or not. When you live with discipline, you lock the door against chaos every single day. You refuse to let the weeds grow. You refuse to let the cracks widen. You refuse to give chaos the oxygen it needs to thrive. But here is the uncomfortable truth. Most people feed their own chaos. They feed it with procrastination. They feed it with excuses. They feed it by giving in to comfort when they should choose challenge. They allow themselves to be led by their moods instead of their commitments. And then, when their lives begin to crumble, they call it bad luck or unfair circumstances, when in reality, they opened the door themselves. If you want to keep chaos out of your life, you must become relentless about discipline. You must decide that no matter how you feel, no matter how tired you are, no matter how tempting it is to delay, you will act. You will complete what you start. You will finish the hard tasks before you indulge in comfort. You will set a standard for yourself so high that even your bad days are better than most people's best days. Because if you don't, chaos will gladly take over. It will not wait for your permission. It will consume your time, drain your energy, and destroy your potential. And the most tragic part is that you will not notice it happening until it's too late. So, treat discipline not as an option, but as a shield. Guard your time with it. Guard your energy with it. Guard your dreams with it. Because when discipline is absent, chaos is inevitable, and it will not stop until everything you value is gone. Order is not something you add to life when it's convenient. It is not a decoration you place on top of success to make it look beautiful. Order is the foundation, the bedrock upon which all achievement must be built. Without it, nothing you create will stand for long. Many dream of success. They chase wealth, influence, recognition, freedom. They imagine themselves at the peak of their goals, standing in the sunlight of accomplishment. But what they often overlook is this: without order, every victory is temporary. The empire you build without structure will crumble under its own weight. Imagine a magnificent building with walls of glass and marble floors. It shines brilliantly in the sun. People admire it, envy it, talk about it. But beneath it, the foundation is weak cracks hidden from sight. The first strong storm that comes will tear it down, and all that beauty will be gone in an instant. This is what life is without order. You may achieve something by chance, by luck, by bursts of energy, but without structure it cannot endure. Order is not glamorous. It is not the part of life that gets applause. No one cheers for the man who wakes early every morning to plan his day. No one claps for the woman who quietly organizes her finances, cleans her workspace, schedules her priorities. But these are the invisible victories, the victories that make all other victories possible. Some will say, I work best in chaos. That is a lie people tell themselves to justify laziness and lack of discipline. Chaos is not a fertile ground for success. It may give the illusion of creativity, but in truth it steals focus, drains energy, and breeds inconsistency. Order, on the other hand, creates space for greatness to grow. It frees your mind from confusion so you can focus on creation. It ensures your time is used intentionally so hours are not wasted on things that do not matter. It gives you clarity so your steps are not random but deliberate, each one moving you toward a definite goal. Look at the most enduring successes in history. Behind them, you will find patterns, routines, and structures so strong that they could function without constant reinvention. Every great military leader has a system. Every prosperous business operates on processes. Every extraordinary individual lives by personal laws they do not break. Without such order, life becomes a constant state of reaction, reacting to emergencies, reacting to distractions, reacting to the demands of others. You live like a ship without a captain, tossed about by the waves, never moving with purpose, always at the mercy of the wind. But with order, you take control of the wheel, you chart your course, you know where you are going and how you will get there. You no longer live in reaction, you live in creation. Order is also a safeguard against decline. Life will test you. There will be storms, failures, and unexpected blows. In those moments, if your life is built on order, you will not collapse. Your systems will hold you. Your habits will carry you. Your discipline will keep you moving forward when your emotions try to pull you down. Without order, the same challenges will destroy you. You will fall into disarray, wasting time on panic instead of action. You will become overwhelmed not because the problem is too great, but because your life was never structured to handle difficulty. This is why order is not optional. You cannot treat it as something you will get to later. Later is already too late. You must set it now today before you need it. You must design your days with the same care an architect designs a bridge, ensuring that every part can bear the weight of the future. Order in your finances means you never live in fear of an empty pocket. Order in your schedule means you never wake up unsure of what matters most. Order in your environment means your mind is free from the clutter that distracts the average person. The truth is simple. The man or woman who lives with order is building something that will last. The one who neglects it is preparing for collapse. And when collapse comes, it will not care how talented, passionate, or intelligent you are. Without structure, all of it will vanish. So, do not wait. Set your life in order now. Let your days be governed by intention. Let your time be guarded as a treasure. Let your actions be arranged so that each one strengthens the last, because order is not just a part of success, it is the very reason success survives. Time is life. Every tick of the clock is a piece of your existence you will never get back. Once it is gone forever. Yet, most people treat their time as if it were endless, as if they could waste today and simply try again tomorrow. They live as if the hours in front of them will always be there. This is the great illusion to believe you can drift through your days without direction and still expect to reach your destination. The truth is harsh but liberating. If you do not take control of your time and priorities, something else will, and when that happens, your life stops belonging to you. Look at the average person. They wake up without a plan. They move through the day reacting to whatever comes their way. A phone call here, a distraction there, an urgent request from someone else, and before they know it, the day is over. They worked hard, perhaps, but on things that didn't matter. They were busy, but not productive. They gave their time away without even realizing it. Life has a way of filling the space you do not guard. If you do not decide your priorities in advance, the world will decide them for you, and the world does not care about your dreams. Other people will fill your schedule with their needs, their goals, their emergencies. Distractions will flood in to claim your attention, and each day you live this way, you are building someone else's life instead of your own. Control over your time is control over your destiny. The man or woman who commands their day commands their future. This is not about cramming your life full of endless tasks. It is about knowing what matters most and giving it the best of your time, energy, and focus. Every morning you must decide, what will I give my life to today? Not just my effort, but my life, because that is what time is, pieces of your life exchanged for whatever you choose to do. You cannot buy it back. You cannot store it for later. You can only spend it wisely or waste it foolishly. A day without intention is a day surrendered to chance, and chance is a poor master. It will scatter your focus, divide your energy, and leave you with the emptiness of wondering why nothing ever changes. To take control of your time, you must become ruthless about your priorities, not cruel but ruthless. That means saying no to things that do not move you toward your purpose, even if they are tempting. That means shutting out distractions, even when they offer instant pleasure. That means refusing to give the best hours of your day to things that do not matter in the long run. The world is filled with people who are always too busy, but never getting anywhere. They confuse motion with progress. They spend their lives answering emails, attending unimportant meetings, running errands that could have been avoided, and then wonder why their dreams remain out of reach. The answer is simple. They are letting the day decide for them. But the moment you take control, the moment you set your priorities before the day begins, everything changes. You stop living in reaction. You start living in creation. You stop waiting for the right time. You make the time. When you own your time, you own your future. When you let the day own you, you hand your future away. So begin today. Decide your priorities before the world decides them for you. Guard your first hours as if they were gold, because they are. Give them to the work that matters most, the tasks that shape your future, the actions that align with your highest vision. The truth is simple. Every day is a choice between progress and drift, between mastery and mediocrity, and that choice is made by who decides how your time will be used. If you do not command your day will command you. And when they into weeks, weeks into months, and months into years, while their dreams gather dust and their potential rots away, the harsh truth is this: motivation is a liar. It will not show up when you need it most. It is unreliable, unpredictable, and fleeting. If you depend on it, you will fail more than you succeed, because the times that truly matter, the times that define your future, are the times when you feel tired, unmotivated, and uninspired. Discipline is different. Discipline does not ask how you feel. It does not care if you are tired or comfortable. Discipline is a decision, a commitment to act whether your emotions agree or not. And in this way, discipline is the great separator between those who achieve and those who only wish. The ordinary person waits for inspiration before taking action. The extraordinary person forces themselves to act, even in the absence of inspiration. And here is the secret they know. Action creates motivation, not the other way around. Once you begin, once you move, once you push yourself through the resistance, the energy comes. Think of the man who wakes before dawn to train his body. He is not leaping out of bed every morning with joy. Some days his eyes are heavy, his muscles ache, and his mind begs for more sleep. But he rises anyway, he trains anyway, and that consistency, that ability to act without the permission of his feelings, is what makes him strong. Feelings are fleeting, they shift like the wind. If you allow them to govern your life, you will be tossed around without direction, never building anything of substance. But if you choose discipline, if you force yourself to do the work regardless of how you feel, you become unstoppable. Understand this. The world does not reward intentions, it rewards results. No one will care that you plan to write a book, start a business, or change your life if you never took the steps to make it real. And the steps will not take themselves. They will require you to get up, show up, and work, especially on the days you least want to. Waiting for motivation is the habit of the unsuccessful. They spend their lives at the mercy of their moods, always starting and stopping, never gaining momentum. But discipline builds momentum. Every time you force yourself to act when you don't feel like it, you strengthen the muscle of self-control, and over time, that muscle becomes unbreakable. Do not romanticize discipline. It will not feel pleasant in the beginning. It will feel like resistance, like friction, like war with yourself. You will hear the inner voice that says, "Not today, I'll do it later, just one more hour of rest." That voice is the enemy. And the only way to silence it is to act in defiance of it. If you wait for the right moment to begin, you will wait forever. The right moment is now, not because you feel ready, but because every moment you delay is another brick in the wall between you and your future. Tear down that wall by taking action here and now without negotiation. Those who master discipline create their own momentum. They do not wait for the wind to push them forward. They row their own boat. They do not hope for favorable conditions. They work in the rain, in the cold, in the dark, and in the quiet hours when no one is watching. One day, you will look back on your life and realize that the days you forced yourself to act, the days you worked through fatigue, boredom, and discomfort, were the days that built you. And in that moment, you will understand that discipline was not a burden, but the very tool that carved your destiny. So stop waiting, stop negotiating with your feelings, stop depending on motivation as if it were your master. Let your actions lead and your emotions will follow. Do what must be done whether you feel like it or not. That is the law of discipline, and if you follow it, nothing in this world will be able to stop you. Greatness is not built in a single day, nor is it created by a single act. It is the result of countless small disciplines repeated day after day until they form an unshakable foundation. People often search for the one big breakthrough, the dramatic moment that will change everything. But the truth is, your future is being shaped right now in the small actions you choose or refuse to take. It begins with the smallest habits, the ones that seem almost too trivial to matter, making your bed, keeping your desk clear, writing down your plans before the day begins, reviewing your progress before you go to sleep. These acts might appear insignificant, but they are bricks that, when stacked over time, form a fortress around your life. The reason most people fail to achieve stability is because they underestimate the power of these small daily acts. They dismiss them as unimportant. They think, what difference does it make if I skip today? It's just one day. But life does not measure your discipline in isolated days. It measures it in patterns, in consistency, in the chain of days you build without breaking. Every time you follow through on a small act of order, you are training your mind. You are proving to yourself that you are a person who finishes what they start, who holds to a standard, who does not compromise with laziness, and each time you do it, that identity grows stronger. The reverse is also true. Every time you neglect the small things, you send a message to yourself, a message that says, I can let things slide, I can ignore the details, I can break my own word. That message sinks deep, and over time, it erodes your confidence and weakens your resolve. Think of a great building. You do not notice the individual nails or screws, but without them, the entire structure would collapse. Small acts of order are those nails. They hold your life together even when storms come. If you skip them, the damage might not be visible immediately, but the weakness will spread until the collapse is inevitable. Some people believe they can wait until the big moments in life to show discipline. They think they will rise to the occasion when the stakes are high, but the truth is, you cannot suddenly become disciplined in the big moments if you have ignored discipline in the small ones. The habits you practice in private will decide how you perform in public. Making your bed is not about the bed. It is about starting your day with a completed task, a small victory that sets the tone for the hours ahead. Planning your goals is not about filling a notebook, it is about creating a map so you do not wander aimlessly. Cleaning your workspace is not about tidiness alone, it is about removing distractions so your mind is free to focus. These actions may seem ordinary, but they carry extraordinary power because they multiply. One day of order leads to another and another until order becomes who you are. That is when discipline ceases to be something you have to force. It becomes automatic, a part of your identity. Consistency is the real magic. Anyone can be disciplined for a day, many can keep it for a week, but the rare individual who practices it every single day, through fatigue, through boredom, through the temptation to quit, that person builds a foundation no storm can shake. Over time, these small acts create a compound effect. Just as money grows with interest, discipline order, life will pull apart everything you have worked to build. With it, you can stand unshaken through any trial. Structure is the skeleton of success. You can have vision, talent, energy, and ambition, but without a solid framework to hold them, they will scatter like leaves in the wind. A house without a frame cannot stand, no matter how beautiful the walls or how costly the furniture. In the same way, a life without structure will fall apart, no matter how gifted or passionate you are. Every goal, every dream, every achievement is a structure waiting to be built. And like any structure, it needs pillars, the daily habits, the clear priorities, the disciplined routines to support its weight. Without those pillars, the higher you climb, the greater the collapse when the storm comes. Storms will come. This is not a question of if, but when. There will be unexpected failures, sudden expenses, personal setbacks, moments when everything seems to push against you. In those times, talent alone will not save you. Motivation will not save you. Inspiration will not save you. The only thing that will hold you steady is the structure you have built into your life before the storm arrived. Structure gives you stability in chaos. When emotions are high and uncertainty is everywhere, structure tells you what to do next. It removes hesitation, it turns confusion into clarity, it gives you a path when the road ahead is clouded. Without structure, the same challenges will overwhelm you. Problems that could have been managed will grow into disasters. A missed payment turns into a financial crisis. A week of poor health habits turns into months of decline. A single failure turns into the excuse to abandon everything. Not because the obstacles were impossible, but because your life was never arranged to withstand them. Think of structure as your anchor. It holds you in place when the winds of distraction try to push you off course. It keeps you steady when others are swept away by the tide. Without it, you drift, and drifting never leads to the destination you desire. The most dangerous lie you can believe is that you will figure it out as you go. That is not flexibility, that is negligence disguised as freedom. True freedom comes from knowing that your life is already arranged to support your highest priorities. True freedom comes from having a system that catches you when your strength is low. Structure is not about controlling every detail of life. It is about creating a framework strong enough to hold your goals, your values, and your responsibilities in place. It's the system that ensures you keep moving forward when you're tired. It's the plan that keeps you from wasting time on what doesn't matter. It's the discipline that makes sure you never lose sight of the destination. Your future self will thank you or condemn you for the structure you set or failed to set today. Years from now, you will either stand firm on a life built with deliberate order, or you will look back on a life of wasted potential, scattered effort, and unnecessary collapse. No one builds a strong structure by accident. It is done with intent, with patience, and with the understanding that every piece must be placed where it belongs. That means deciding in advance how you will spend your time, how you will guard your energy, how you will protect your priorities. It means refusing to let life happen to you. Instead, you happen to life. Without structure, your dreams are at the mercy of chance. With structure, you have the power to shape them into reality. Without structure, every success is temporary. With structure, every success becomes a foundation for greater success. The choice is yours. Build the frame now, while you still have the time and strength. Set your life in order before the storm arrives. Because when the winds rise and the rain falls, it will not matter how talented you are, how much you wanted it, or how much you dreamed. The only thing that will decide whether you stand or fall is the strength of the structure you built long before the storm came.